Good afternoon and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. Ministry of Education officials are currently meeting with the island's teachers and rectors as part of the Evaluate to Advance program.
Within the framework of the national government's Evaluate to Advance strategy, which seeks to contribute to closing learning gaps, officials from the Ministry of Education are accompanying 11 educational institutions in the Archipelago Department to sign a commitment pact to strengthen and improve the quality of education on the islands. The event is currently taking place in the facilities of the Bolivariano School, where the presence of the Secretary of Education, Lucila Morelos, is expected for the signing of the commitment. We will expand on this information in our main broadcast.
The Departmental Secretary of Tourism review and socialize information on the Morgan Canyon and Rizal Historical Museum works.
With the presentation of a design and the space where the attraction will be located, the local administration informed the Rizal community about progress on remodeling and relocation of the Morgan Canyon.
Cordial saludo para toda la comunidad.
Kind greetings to all the community. There are really two projects that the departmental administration headed by the governor is advancing. As we mentioned yesterday, we held a socialization with the Rizal community, to whom we have presented the first, which is the relocation of Morgan Canyon. This is in compliance with a ruling of the court of our department, which stated that the administration will move Morgan Canyon to its historic site, and a second project, which is to advance the construction of the Historical Museum of San Andres that will be located in the Santander Hospital in the North End sector.
The importance of these changes, the Secretary says.
Totalmente pues importante.
It is totally important since the department seeks to enhance all the cultural heritage of our archipelago. That's why these projects we are carrying out are aimed in that direction.
The next step is the budget community and start the work. The Morgan Education project will be executed by the Tourism Secretariat, while the Rizal Historical Museum will be carried out by the Cultural Secretariat.
In Sarabia, a collection campaign of special ways and white lines was made by the departmental government. Here is the complete information.
From 8 o'clock in the morning, the departmental government has special waste and white goods in the Sarabia neighborhood, such as television, washing machines, tires, among other household appliances were collected.
This morning we are here in Sarabia. Well, I'm from public service. We are along with the Liceo School. Today we are having a day of cleaning up, where we are taking up what is old stove, old ice box, old iron, old bicycle, and we are inviting the community that if they have anything to put out, well, that they put it out on the time that we indicate to put it out.
This activity, led by the Secretariat of Public Services and Environment, is with the purpose of keeping the island clean of waste. The continuity of these collection activities is important for the community.
Well, I just like to tell you all that I like to see all and taking up all those garbage, and it's very nice. Like I said, transport only take up just on the little bit of rubbish that is on the beach, on the street, but more and them don't clean up. And that's okay. Magnific. Thank you to the government for this.
And at the national level, a credit was formulated especially for women entrepreneurs in all regions of the country. We tell you what it is about.
The Fondo Mujer Emprende and Bancoldex, together with the Vice Presidency of the Republic, the Presidential Council for Women's Equity, and the Ministry of Industry and Tourism, launched a credit line for women entrepreneurs of the Fondo Mujer Emprende with preferential conditions in terms, grace period, and rate incentive for micro, small, and medium enterprises that are owned or led by women that have a staff with at least 50% of women in the formal employment.
El Fondo Mujer Emprende y Bancoldex, bajo los lineamientos.
The Women Entrepreneurs Fund and Bancoldex, under the guidelines of the Vice Presidency of the Republic and also with the work of the Presidential Council for Women's Guidance, we designed a line of credit for women entrepreneurs to not only seek the economic reactivation of women, but also form a nation of women entrepreneurs. I want to see many with small, medium, and large enterprises, and that is why we have set up.
The of credit allows women businesses to access loans that may be used to cover working capital expenses, such as the purchase of raw materials, supply, paid lease, and other completion of projects. They have 20,300 million pesos at their disposal. Banks and microcredit oriented to entities, which will enable them to invest, modernize, or purchase additional machinery, among other improvements.
In news today, April 1st begins the closed season of the black crab, a very important species for the rice gastronomy. An invitation made not to capture, trade, or consume the black crab.
It is prohibited as subject to capture, commercialize, distribute, or consume the black crab in the Department of San Andres, Providence, and Queclina. Since the species it is in the reproductive phase, and non-compliance with this measure could affect the reproduction process and lead the species to extinction.
From the Secretary of Agriculture, today we're getting a bed of crab. This is an issue that we need to protect, and we need to see the welfare that these species continue to reproduce, that we will have in a future. So we need to respect. I begin today that we will respect better, that we will carry this issue to have the reproduction, have more increase of the species.
Likewise, the lobster close season has begun in the municipality of Providence. And
in we have the big crawfish, and we know we had like a space, a time of 1 month by resolution, Secretary, and now we make the effort to give that a leave to the municipality of Providence. So we begin today is the close up of that. Respect the reproduction of these species that is so important to repopulate back our community.
The crab closing season will end on July 31st, and the lobster closing season will end on June 30.
Hospitalized in the departmental hospital with good medical prognosis, continued teenager who was injured with a knife in recent days outside an educational institution. It is to recall that it was around noon or a scuffle broke out between students that ended with the detention of 2 minors and another one injured. And now let's get to know other facts making news today in our brief news section.
The Environmental Corporation Coralina commemorated in the Maria Immaculada Educational Institution with the Municipal Mayor's Office the Water Day. During the activity, talks on the efficient use of water as well as a creative activity were held, where each student acquired a commitment to take care of the precious liquid. The group of Child Protection of the National Police conducted socialization of the emergency line 123 and 141, guiding the community to any act that violates the rights of children and adolescents as well as their free development. The Natural Colombia Foundation will hold a beach cleanup day in the department on April 2nd from 8 in the morning. This initiative seeks to reduce the waste dumped on the beaches and the Sea of the Seven Colors.
And at this time, we present the indicators of the COVID-19 situation in the department.
For yesterday, March 31st, the Ministry of Health reported 1 case of COVID-19. The islands maintained the 10,185 since the pandemic began. According to data from the Secretary of Health, at local level, there are 1 active cases, 9,997 people, 154 deaths, and ICU occupancy 0%.